I put interested
Okay, we're online.
so that
Hello, everyone. This is Arlene from the Carver's Woodshop from Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. And the new mascot is my Honey the Bear. But we're not doing Honey the Bear today. So, you got the volume on Zippo?
yeah,
Okay. So,
yeah, it is.
let's see here. Oh, we have a couple people already popped in. So, this is what we're going to work on today. We're going to do the owl. All right. So, the size of the block is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 by 2 1/4 inches in inches, because we're in the States here and everything's in inches. So, the first thing I do is I take the line. You're going to keep an eye on that, right?
Can't get on.
No?
There we go.
No,
Hang on, it's just delayed.
Okay.
Sorry. There we
You're on?
Oh.
Okay. Oh, you're on. I see you.
I'm on.
Hello, Lynn. Lynn's on. Say hi to Lynn, please. Lynn Clump is on. But hello, everybody. Welcome. We're going to wait till a few more people come around, and we're going to do this nice little owl. So, all right, let's get started. So the first thing I do is, let's see how far down that is. I know some people have asked. Let me see how far that is. It's about 1 1/4 inches down from the top. All right, so hello, Barry. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Lynn. All right, so, and if you're watching this on YouTube later, this is a live broadcast on a live video on Facebook on Arlene Zomer, the Carver's Wood Shop. And hello, Linda. It's an owl, Linda. She's been trying to guess all day what it was. So there we go. Hello, Pete from Nova Scotia. Alrighty, so this is what we're going to work on. We're going to put his head. That head looks like it's really down far. No? Okay, it'll give it some room for the ears. I did taper it off a little bit. Where's the other one I had? Oh, here. Here's this really small one that I did yesterday, but I just like the shape on this one a little better.
You just had Keith stop in.
Hello, Keith. So, Colleen's going to watch for any questions. So if you want to start a dialogue, that's fine, about wood carving or any questions that you may have, feel free to ask. Okay, so let's start with this. I'm going to get moving. Otherwise, we're not going to get this done in a timely manner. Okay, I sharpened all my tools earlier. And of course, we have Honey the Bear mascot sitting and watching us today. So,
Jen
hello, Jen.
and James Michelle Coco. Give a hoot and carve an owl if you care to. You have a pair of hooters.
Funny, James. Was that James?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting a little notch in each of the corners, like I did with the bear and with all the other stuff that I've done here. And we're going to take the V tool, and we're going to follow the line that I put. So we'll start.
James is in the house, he says.
There you go. Hello, James. Did Jen or Jack?
Yeah, Jen was there. Hi, Lean, and hi, Colleen.
Hello, Jen and Jack. You'll be here in a few weeks. That's going to be fun. I'll find some projects for Jack to do. I always have something to do here. Okay, so can you see it coming already? Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So the ears are going to be the opposite of the cat. The cat, it was leaning this way. So it's like the back of the head of it for the ears. So we're just going to go in here and we're going to go in the back side, not the front side, the back side. And we're just going to go ahead and just push this in, and we're going to just, is that right? Yes. Okay. And same thing over here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start, actually, I have to put that little, took me a while to figure out how I did this before, because it's been a while. So this was actually to my project of the
Noah's Ark.
Correct.
Yep.
Took the words right out of my mouth. So we're going to put a little V here at the end for the bottom part of his bill. There. Hello, Beth. Is Beth on there?
No, but I get a delay. So.
Okay. And we're going to go up on either side. So I'm going to just do this with my finger, resting it and pushing it up, and doing the other side. And that will be exactly the same on both sides. The hardest part for me is making the eyeballs. That is the most difficult part to the owl. The rest of it's very simple, but that portion is really different. And so what I'm going to do here is, there we go. We're going to just cut underneath the bill there, and we're going to just take it down a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to take the V tool and I'm going to go up. We'll worry about the top part of that later. We'll put that in later. Okay, so there's the bill. All right.
Dave Vertigan's on.
Hello, Dave. All my friends are coming on. I have a couple of friends. All right. Let me think here for a second. Where's the other one here? Okay. We're going to do a little bit here in the front as well. We're just going to cut it out the front and in the back of that ear. Any questions, folks? Hello, Barb. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm going to do the back side, start cutting that out a little bit because, oh, I just hit myself. Nope, that's good. I'm getting carried away. If you've been watching my AI stuff of Honey the Bear doing stuff, I had a blast doing that. I'm addicted to it, folks. So if you see more, that's why. Okay, so on the side, I'm going to dig out a little bit further here. And we're just going to...
Elizabeth says this is a great carving project.
Thank you. Okay, now can you see it coming? It's coming. All right. Oh, I did nick myself. How about that?
Uh-oh.
It's all right.
Do you need a nurse?
No, I know you're a nurse. The nurse is in the house. Oh, that's funny.
Elizabeth says, yeah, ice stuff is fantastic. It's really fun to watch.
I really enjoyed doing that. So you notice I'm just kind of pushing the ears back a little bit. There's the ears. Now we're going to make them a little more distinct because they need to stick out a little bit more. But we're going to just kind of shape it up a little bit. This is going to take a little while, folks. So if you pop in and out, you'll probably still see me here in half an hour to an hour. So we're going to make that a little bit more of a point there. And so we're going to go to the side here. I think the one that people liked the most was the one where the bear carries the knife off. I had fun with that. Okay, so see how far I went in there? That's how far you want to go. So let's go over here.
Elizabeth says, I was late coming in. What are you using tonight?
I am using a 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 by 2 1/4 tall. So it's a little bit bigger than the 1 by 1. Oh, this is the 1 by 1 by 2, and it's a little bit taller than, it should have been a little bit taller than that, but it works for me. I found I did that little one, and it just was a little bit more difficult to maneuver than this one here is a lot easier. Okay, so that's where we're at with this. I should have gone a little bit wider with the nose, but with the beak, I mean, whatever you want to call that. So we're going to just kind of chop this back a little bit more because he looks a little freaky. Okay. Now, the hard part for me is, I'm going to try to bring this down a little bit more here. And the wood is basswood. If Elizabeth is asking, it's basswood.
Yeah, it was just a miscue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had wrote the word what, and it was supposed to be wood. Close. Started with a W.
Close enough. But no cigar. Okay. I'm doing the back side of the head. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. I wondered if I still had blocks this size, because I didn't order a lot of these years ago. And I went in the barn and found a box partially full. I have more wood to last me the rest of my life, I think. I'm working on the back side of the head right now. So, bless you.
Thank.
All right. So, now the tough part. This is the most frustrating part for me, is putting in the eyes. So I'm going to try to match each side as we go. I think Red left. The cat left.
Oh.
He's not here anymore.
Oh, okay. Going to somebody else's house to eat.
Yep, we have a neighborhood cat around here. So this is the outside of it. If you can get that done first, and then put the eyeball in the center, because I don't know if that eyeball is big enough in the center. What do you think? Is that big enough in the center?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit small. This was out of the 1 inch by 2, and I wasn't overly pleased with that. But anyway, so it's gotten a lot warmer outside. I'm just starting to tap a couple of trees here at the farm for maple syrup. Didn't get much lately, but I don't normally get a lot anyway. But I still try.
Did you hear about snow on Sunday?
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
Oh. You know, when I tap the trees, normally, I'm sure upstate New York, they always had snow when they had to go tap trees. I never had to worry about snow. We never had enough snow here. Oh, that's pretty even. I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. Let me see here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to put an eye in the center. Now, one of the other things you can do, you can actually make a little template so they're both the same, right? So if you want to, you can do that. That's up to you. I've never done it, but I know that I was thinking this over. How do you get this stuff to match? And the same thing with the Santas. You get one side of the eye done, and getting the other eye is always difficult to get it the same size. But, you know, even your own eye is not the same. If you cover one eye and look in a mirror, they look different. You wouldn't think so, but they do. So, have you carved anything lately there, Colleen?
Oh, no, not me.
Well, Colleen and I were discussing the other day about maybe having, and this is something I wanted to do for a while, is have a carving club here that can meet maybe once every couple of weeks or so. And I'm debating where to have it here on the farm. I'm looking into some ideas. I think my shop out there can only handle, how many people do you think that could handle? Four?
Ooh,
5?
four.
4?
Yeah, 5 is tight.
5 is tight, I agree.
Kinda,
Yes.
yeah.
So now we're going to take the V tool. So if you're in the area of Honeybrook and you're interested in such interested in a carving club here, and we'll call it the Carver's Woodshop Carving Club, we'll figure something out. So, okay, so I'm going to follow this very gently with my V tool. The V tool is really great for this. It just helps outline it really, really well. And then we have a lot of work on the bottom side of that.
Elizabeth says that's a long drive for her.
I would think so.
But you're always open to the opportunity.
Yes. I'd like to do a class up there in Canada. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do that. I know my sister would help me with it, but
Just don't forget you need a co-driver.
oh, really?
Yes. Just in case we get stranded out of the country.
Who? You? Got your passport?
Absolutely.
Ah.
On me at all times.
I make sure my passport's up to date. Well, I have to because my family is up there, right? So, I remember when we could just go with a driver's license and get across the border. It was no big deal.
Heck, we knew the Border Patrol.
Yeah. Well, you did because you lived up there, right?
Yeah.
So here you go. Hello, Wayne. Thanks for joining us. So that's the first part. The second part is doing the eye, because if you look at this is an indentation. Now, I usually have a small gouge that I use, but we're going to do this with a knife. And I'll show you how, because that's how I did this one, with a knife. So we'll show you how to do that. So now we're going to do the inside eyeball. Why is that not? Let me go the other way. It's the same way. You notice I'm moving my carving. I'm not really moving my hand a whole lot. It's easier sometimes just to move the carving than try to move your hand in a circular motion like that. And this is what takes the longest, folks. Once we get past this, it's not too bad. All right. That looks pretty even for now. All right. How you do this with the knife is I go around, and notice I'm going out. I'm not going in this way. I'm pointing the knife out. And remember, I'm a little ways away from this, so I don't have this right. And then what you're going to do is just go cut around to see how I'm cutting that out right here. See, it's starting to look a little bit of an indentation. And this is how you do it. You just lay the If it doesn't come out, please do not pull it, because you don't want to pull out anything. Let's see if I can get that out. This is the hard part.
About how far down are you
With what?
with digging out this eye?
Well, you can do anything you want. I mean, you can do one pass all the way around to get that eye free and to have that indentation that you see.
Mm-hmm.
But I go a couple of times. And how deep? That's all, I don't know. See the difference? You can already see the indentation. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to go a little bit deeper, which I probably will, because that's just me, I like to see it go a little bit deeper. And again, I'm moving my carving piece instead of my hand. That's a way to control that a little bit better. And then we're going to go in a little bit deeper again. And we're just going to take our time with it. Maybe it's the knife that's not sharp enough. Or you got to be careful with which way you're cutting it too. There we go. That works a little better. So you got to do, sad part about this, you got to do two eyes that way. You get one done, you got to do another. So what I do here is I round off the eyeball. Now that makes it look like it's a little deeper as well. All right. So yeah, that worked out pretty good. So I did two passes, but you can go a little deeper. I think this is definitely a lot deeper, but because I'm not going to use a gouge, and most people wouldn't have that size gouge, it would be easier just to go again and cut it out again if you want to. And I'll do that at a later date, but you get the idea of how to do that eyeball, and try to go with the grain if you can. If your knife is sharp enough, I'm going to dip its head in the water in my mixture, because it will just make it a little softer to cut it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to go around. I'm going to try a different knife. That one's not real sharp today. I don't know why. Oh, much better. So I like these smaller projects. They're really a lot of fun to do. Now, I noticed I didn't push that over far enough. So what we're going to do is we're just going to chop that off a little bit. We're going to redo that line. So it's a good idea not to do it too deeply. So let's spread that a little further. Okay. Cut a little bit of that off yet. That's a little better. Okay, and again, we're going to go underneath and cut. Now, if you have a regular gouge, you could just go from the edge and gouge it out. I don't have my gouge here, the larger one. I rarely use it anymore. But I used to do everything with a knife. The beard, on the Santas and everything else. And now I don't do that as much. But hello, Marilyn. So, you can see the difference in the two eyes. See how that looks deeper now? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, we're going to cut this out one more time. And we're going to dig that out a little further. So, like I said, I think a carving club would be nice. There isn't anything in this area unless you want to go all the way to Lancaster or down to Media, which is Media is good 35 miles away. I've been invited to go to their meeting every week, but it's too far away. And the same thing with the Lancaster one. It's on the other side of Lancaster. If it was on this side, it wouldn't be so bad. It'd be about a half hour, 40 minutes.
All right, so Elizabeth wants to know, is the actual eye is about the size of a dime, or is it the size of a nickel?
More like a nickel. That's a good question.
Very good question.
Yeah. I would say that looks more like a nickel size. That's not a dime.
I think it depends upon the size of your head.
My head or this head? Okay. We'll stop joking around. Keep going here. Yeah, it all depends. Like, she's right. It all depends on the size of the head. You know, this one looks a little wider. I'm not sure why, but it does look a little wider. But, you know, you have to gauge that on your own. You know, you could take a dime or a nickel and make
Use
that
for the
circle.
circle. Yeah.
Very good idea, Elizabeth. Yeah. You gave me a nice idea for the next one that I do, that I don't have to struggle how to make that perfectly round. Well, I'm on the wrong eyeball. Excuse me. Let's go back to this one. You know, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Instead of the template,
Yep.
to use that instead. So, okay, I'm going to round this off a little bit, start giving it some shape.
So if I were in Canada, which coin would I be using for the eye?
Any coin that would fit. They're all a little bit
Wait,
different.
Who is that from Nova Scotia?
I'm not sure.
Was
Pete.
that
I think
Pete?
Pete. Yeah. Did he ask that question, or is that something you're asking?
No, I'm going to throw it out there for Pete. So what size coin, Canadian coin, would be similar to a dime or a nickel?
Well, they don't have pennies, and we're getting rid of our pennies now, too, so...
I heard you make out better if you take your pennies to the dump. They pay you by the pound.
It's illegal to do that. You got to wait till they're out of circulation.
I'm getting ready.
Oh, yeah, because you can get, what, $3 a pound for...
Yeah, something crazy.
So if she ends up in the
In the popo.
in the popo, we know why. She took that idea and went with it. Okay. So that's a little tougher. I don't know why this eye is giving me so much trouble to cut it. Let's do it this way. Okay. All right, we're going to stop at the eyeballs because we got to keep going here. We got a half hour in it already, and we're not even part of the way done here. Okay, so that's how it is. We're going to try to round the face up a little bit more. All right.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. That's okay. So up here, we're going to just notch it out like we do with the bears. Just like so. Just a little notch. Just to give it a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. You see it against the red. Just a little notch there. Did Pete answer you or not?
No.
Oh.
Well, not on mine.
Well,
I'm not sure if he answered on yours. But.
No, he did not. All right, so I'm going to make that a little deeper. We're just going to kind of bring this out a little bit.
Oh, there it goes. He would use a nickel, but would a washer do the trick as well?
But
Probably.
it depends what size washer.
Oh, but you know what, Pete? I was just thinking, if you used the washer and it was the correct size, you could take the center that's out of the washer for the eyeball.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Good call.
Good. That's a wonderful call.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to go out to the barn and see if I can find a washer.
Yep.
You guys can wait a few minutes. We're already past the eyeball part. But if you don't have a washer, this is how you do it.
I like the washer idea.
I like it too. That's a very good idea. See, this is why when you have, let me clean this off. It still has stuff on it from...
An active audience?
Yeah,
Come up with this?
That's pretty good, Pete. That is a wonderful idea. Okay, so there is...
Awesome idea, Elizabeth says.
So right here, we're going to put a little V. It's not a big deal here, but...
Pete says exactly.
See, and that's when you have a carving club or you go to a carving, you get a lot of ideas. And we are having the carving show in Lancaster, middle of March. I think Beth told us about it before. But so I'm just going to take my knife and I'm going to do both sides of that V and just take the point of the knife and kind of dig it out a little bit. It's a little, because you're going against the grain, so you want to be very, very careful. You don't want to split some of that off. There we go. You see it? That's kind of hard to see. There it is. You can make it a little deeper if you want, but it's going to be black anyway, so it will pop out nicely. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all this rough stuff. You know how I get rid of this rough stuff? I always say that every time I carve, but it's very true. Because it will look weird when you go to paint it. So, this was a request, I believe, from Lisa last week or 2 weeks ago. Asked if I would do a owl. And I thought, yeah, you know, that's not a bad idea. So, I like that washer idea.
Yeah, that's
that would save a lot of time, Pete, for sure. It would. And if you're watching on Facebook, the people on, if you're watching on YouTube, the people on Facebook are able to ask me questions. And that's where the dialogue is coming from. And they can type in their questions. All right, so we're pretty well done with the head. I think he turned out pretty good. Let's make this a little...
Sandy says, hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I don't know when you carve live.
At 7 o'clock is the new time. I know before I used to do it at 7:30, and that's probably why you came in late. But if you did not know that, next week we'll be back at 7. And that's Easter Standard Time. So, I'm going to dig in a little bit into the head here. Just have that a little bit deeper. But,
Billy Joe Harajo. I watch you carve, but never actually carved anything myself. I used to carve a little, but it seemed like my Hobby Lobby didn't cut as easy as yours does.
Hobby Lobby uses a different, very dried out. It's really not the best wood to get because it's probably too dry. Now, the trick you can do with that, if that's the only thing you can get, is to get a cup of water with some rubbing alcohol. Whoops, I just made a mess. But
paper towel?
Yeah, if you could. And you can just dip one half in like this, and then dip the other half in, and that's it. And I wouldn't leave it in there. I did that already, and it really swelled terribly. It carved beautifully, but then it went ahead and checked, meaning it started to split. And that's not bad. If you just leave it for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, those usually come back to the original size. So if you're interested in using that wood from Hobby Lobby, I would just dip it a few times. Like do it now, and then maybe in a half hour do it again. And maybe do it, 3 or 4 times if it's really bad and tough. And you'll notice a huge difference with that. I hope that helps you, Billy. I do sell some of the blocks already pre-cut like this, where it's tapered off for my projects. I haven't done it in a while. I don't know what the prices now are because it's been like 4 years since I've really shipped anything out. So I don't know what the shipping is because everything has gone up. even the price of the wood has gone up. But I have, if you're interested in something, you can contact me through Facebook on Messenger.
Okay, Pete says he measured the Canadian pickle and it's 7/8 of an inch.
Yes. Oh.
What's a pickle?
The very first one, we did a real small one. This one here. Okay, we're going larger. Then we started with this one with the pickle. Then this one is where's the ones I did? That's this size, okay? And now we're going with this size, which is this one. You can see the difference in the sizes, okay? So they're all a little different. All right, now we're going to put little feet on him. He doesn't have a tail on the back of him. Okay, I just never did that. I wonder if they have a tail. Do they have a tail on the back? They would have to fly.
With all my experience of being around owls, none of them turned their back to me and gave me the,
well,
the moon.
Yes. You're welcome, Billy. I hope that works for you. So we're going to make his little feet in the front. Okay. So we're just going to bring this over. Maybe a little lower. There we go.
Oh, Billy did say thank you.
Yes, I saw that. I just happened to see it. All right, so we're going to notch this out just like we do all the others that have the feet. And we are going to go ahead and use the V-tool to go down. And I do like this size better for the owl. It just looks better than this one. Don't you think? I like this size.
Baby.
You'd have to be different.
I do like the little one.
I know.
He's kind of cute.
Yeah, he is. I do like...
I think his name's Roger.
She's naming my carvings now. I'm not sure about her.
Did you get enough? Could just call him Owlie.
Owlie. Owlie? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to round this up. We're going to bring this down. See the shape? And bring this side down. Now you don't want that hard edge on. You don't want that quarter sticking out like it does. So we're going to just keep.
So if I was just considering starting wood carving for myself, what exact tools would you recommend?
Is that a question somebody's asking, or is that
I'm asking you.
Okay.
In case I want to carve.
Okay, I would go with a stationary straight knife, and a V-tool is secondary. You don't need it right away, but a good knife and a strop. That's it. That's all you need. And good wood, because nothing's more frustrating, as I'm sure Billy can tell you, than trying to carve something that's really super hard. And when I soften this up with the water, it's like butter almost. It's so much more fun and more pleasurable to do. So we're going to do the feet here. We're going to just push this in and go around.
Pete says Ollie the owl.
Ollie the owl. We have Ollies here. The store Ollies.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Don't they have an owl?
An owl?
Yeah, as their mascot. No, they have that guy.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've never even been to an Ollie's, but I know there's one in Pottstown.
Yeah, I go to it a lot. I used to buy a lot of stuff there, but not as much as I used to. Okay, so we're going to round this up a little bit, and we're going to bring this down and curl it under a little bit like that. If you can see that. Okay. And that's kind of what we did there. And so we're going to just keep shaping this bottom part because we're going to put the feathering in. And there is some feathering to it. It's not a lot, but it's a little more like the feathers you would do on a regular bird. So I'm just rounding him up, getting rid of these corners and stuff. See, he's nice. I like him. He's a little chubby. I like that. I like things that are like fat noses, bigger eyes. Chubby is cute. I'm just saying.
That's why you like me, right?
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying in general. I think when you do your carvings and they're thin and skinny, like a skinny Santa with a skinny nose does not look right to me. It doesn't have the cute factor to me.
That's how my last Santa was that I carved, and he looked like he had a cigar nose.
Well, hey. At least you tried, right?
Yeah, I probably could just bring it over and you can straighten it out.
I don't know if there's nothing to carve from.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Well, they have this whole thing about, I'm just going to bring this up because it's kind of interesting since I have all this to do. I was watching 60 Minutes the other day and they were talking about AI because I'm kind of into that now. And they had these machines that could do like Michelangelo's work.
Really?
Yeah. So it was so intricate. And they said, well, how does that affect the artist? And I'm like, yeah, that would, because every piece I do doesn't look the same.
Right.
So, people that use the AI for, doing mass production of their own stuff, I'm not opposed to that because it does take a long time. And if they have a lot of people that would want their stuff, I can understand that. But just using AI without doing the original, I don't know. Because you can look at the printers, the 3D printers. They're rampant, and they said a lot of these shows. I'm on a couple of these. These craft groups on Facebook, and they see a lot of people doing the 3D stuff.
Yeah.
And is that original? Well, yeah, I think it can be because I know someone in my family that's doing a little bit of that. But they have to, and they design their own stuff. They're just using a different way of doing it. What's your feeling on that? Don't drink all that wine at once.
Not too much. I have to drive.
Yes.
I think there's a lot to be said about something that's totally hand carved. When I go to craft shows, I tend to gravitate more towards anything that's homemade. A homemade quilt as opposed to one that's done on one of the big tables, or something that's crocheted by hand, not by the machines. And I personally do the same thing with wood carving. And if I'm unsure, I often ask the artist, and sometimes you will get somebody who will say that they used to hand carve, but as they've aged, they're not able to do it anymore, but
True.
They still enjoy working with the wood, even though they put it on a lathe or
they're using
a turner.
Or they're using a Fordham tool or some kind of rotary tool for people that can't carve, but you're still doing it by hand. You're not having a machine that you're telling it what to do.
Correct.
So I think that would be an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
To have a live discussion on that someday. The ethics of it and, if that's the right word for it, I'm not sure.
You have a Patrick that says, good job.
Thank you. We're almost done with this, and then we can get into the feathering. It's going to take a little longer than an hour. Maybe not. I can do the feathering pretty quick.
So let me ask you this one more question about being a beginner. So if you were a beginner, would you still recommend a pine cone?
Yes.
As a first task?
Yes, I would, because what a pine cone does, it teaches you to do the stop and the push and pull method, which is pushing with your thumb or pulling with your thumb. And your thumbs are the ones that really control everything, right? It's not your hand as much as your thumb. And the other thing is, once you learn how to do the push and pull method, then you do the stop cuts, which you see me doing here. That's a stop cut that I'm doing right now. And what you do is you're drawing your line with you're pushing it inward, and then that is where you want the cut to stop. I think I got that right.
Gee, that's why you call it a stop cut?
That's why.
Oh, gotcha now.
Oh, she's being smart tonight, folks. That's okay. Remember who has the knife.
Oh, no.
Scary. So yeah, I would say once and the reason I have people do the pine cone, because it really teaches them the pull and push method, and it teaches them about the stop cuts. And once you master that, because it's repetitious, you remember doing that. You're doing the same thing. You're making those little things. I don't even know what they call those on a pine cone.
Oh, the little. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
Well, and then once those are done, then you can graduate to doing a Santa or something a little more intricate, because now you have the feel of how to do those cuts. So, hello, Lori.
So that obviously is my problem, because I've only done like 60 pine cones. So when I get to 100 pine cones, then I might be able to try something else.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
That's fair. Okay, so now we're done with all the rough stuff except for his bill here. We're going to take a little bit of that off. We're going to turn that down a little bit, just so it looks a little bit like a hook there. And yeah, that turned out really nice. I like that. Okay, so we're going to take the V-tool. We're going to go back to the feet here. We'll stop yakking. Get moving here.
Oh, yeah, it's getting late.
But those are good questions, because I think, when I started carving, I started with balsa wood, and get this, X-Acto knives. And it was absolutely the wrong stuff. But I did quite a few. I ought to bring those out, those old ones that I first started with. And I started out of a book. We didn't have internet back 30, 40 years ago. So, all right. So we did that. Now I'm going to make another one here. I'm going to curve it a little bit so it looks like the foot there. Okay. And one over here. So let's do this one on the top first. And down. And then I go across to make those little, I don't know if you call them knuckles or whatever you want to call them.
Aren't they, don't they have talons like,
yeah, it's at the end, but what's the rest of the foot called?
Oh, the foot.
The foot.
I'm not sure.
Foot. Okay.
I need another phone to look up all the questions that you ask.
I can bring out my computer and you can do it off of there. But I don't use the computer very often. I mean the laptop. I do everything from the phone anymore.
Yeah.
It's just easier. All right. So once you get that done, you just do little nicks here and there. Just 2 on each one. On each toe. We'll call it a toe. One on the outside because it's smaller. Okay, so there's the foot. Now, as you can see, we have feathering here, right? So I'm just going to outline this first, just where I want it to be. And we'll bring this back a little bit here. And then we're just going to go up. That's one. And this is the other one. Okay, so that's one side. We'll do that one first. So you can use your V tool again and just separate everything. The V-tools are kind of intimidating for some people because they're very hard to sharpen. Boy, once you get one sharpened and you know how to do it, they are a lot of fun to use.
Do you think you could use tin foil
For what?
to crinkle on it to make it a little sharper?
No.
Okay. I was just trying to think.
Tin foil.
Yeah, you can use tin foil to sharpen your knives.
Well, you can use tin foil if you're doing like I use that.
Desperate.
I use it, believe it or not, when I have a paper cutter. You can take foil and wrap it up, and it will sharpen it. Believe it or not, it will. Or scissors even, but not a knife because it's got to be a 2-blade thing.
Okay.
So.
Just wondering.
Okay. Okay, so
Okay. Rose says there is a carver that makes cowboys and related items that still uses exact knives. Very good detail. Been carving for decades.
I think I know who she means, and I believe he uses doesn't he use a box cutter? I think he uses a box cutter, like a regular, I know who he is. I'm trying to think what his name is. He's out in Arizona, I believe. He's very good. He's won a lot of things, and he uses like a box cutter. Or maybe he does use X-Acto knives. I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm doing here is I'm re-outlining the outside. And what I'm trying to do is make it look like these feathers are on top. Just like so. Okay, good. And the same thing here. You're going to re-outline. I'm going to just do half of it because this is taking longer than I thought.
Rose says, whoops. There is another one that uses that. Maybe it is.
Yeah, he uses utility knives is the right word. I've tried that. It doesn't work well for me. And plus, you got to buy them all the time. I like to sharpen knives. That's something I enjoy doing when I'm in the mood to do it. You know.
Wax paper to sharpen your scissors and paper cutter machines.
Wax paper?
Wax paper. I've never used wax paper to
No,
sharpen.
No, I haven't either.
Interesting. I might try that, Rose. Thanks for the tip.
Well, there we go. So see how this is all kind of popping out? That's what you want. And you want to make it look like it's layering, you know, like here, from here to here. This is laying over top of this one. So you're going to lay your knife kind of flat and kind of cut it out a little bit like that. I'm just going to...
She says, works super well, also cleans them.
Oh. Does she put it on a strop? Rosie, you put that on a strop or what? I never thought of using wax paper.
Me neither.
That's new. All right, so that's how you would do this side. We're going to go into a little bit of well, I think I'm just going to explain how to use this. The back side of the ears.
No, she said no.
No to what?
The putting it on the strap.
Oh, well, then how does she use it then? Does she say?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, she just wipes it down with it.
Oh,
Cuts
maybe.
it. Oh, just cut it like you do a piece of paper.
And that's her carving knife she's talking about?
All
right.
I don't know what she's... Oh, to sharpen scissors.
Oh, the
Wax
sharpen...
paper to sharpen
okay,
scissors
not
and paper
the...
cutter machines.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to have to try that. Because I usually just cut tinfoil.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I found that worked pretty good. All right, so now I'm just going to tell you how to do the eyes. I use my little V tool here, and I go from the outside of the eye to the inside of the eye, just like so. Like a burst of sunshine, like a rays of sunshine. Just like so. All right, so that's how you do the eye all the way around. And then up here, you're going to, I think you can see it better on here. Can you see that pretty good?
Yeah.
Right here, you're just going to go straight across to the back. And then from the back down. And then just have it flow. Just have it flow towards the feathering. And I'm going to show you how to do the feathering, because that's a little different than what I had been showing you before. I put a little center line up the center of each one. And you don't want them to be right underneath each other. You want them offset a little bit, just like so, okay? And then this one's going to go up like so. And this one's going to go right there, okay? And then you're just going to go ahead and put your little lines in. And they don't have to be perfect. This is a caricature. It's not realistic. When I did the realistic birds, oh my goodness, the burning with a wood burner took forever. And I didn't like the smell of it all the time. Is my fire still going? Yeah, it was still going. Are we really supposed to get snow on Sunday?
Yeah, there's some storm coming in.
Oh,
It's
great.
not supposed to amount to anything. But...
Okay, so that's how you do your feathering. Now, what I usually do is go a little bit more at an angle that's not steep enough or down enough. So, but this is how you do it. And if your V-tool is sharp enough, you should be able to do it no matter what direction, for the most part. And if it feels like it's starting to tug a little bit, then you just take it back to the strop and strop it a little bit. And that usually just hones it up again. Okay? And then we'll do this one.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, what?
I missed it. Rose wants to know, are you letting the eyeball be the stop cut, or are you lifting the tip up? Are you letting the eyeball be the stop? So
Yes.
The center.
Yes. Yes, I'm going from out to the eyeball with my V-tool. Just like so. Okay, that's how it looks. They look really nice when you get all these lines on it, and once you start painting it, it really comes, it really finishes it off very, very nicely. So, and gets a little harder to do when you get into small corners like that. When you do, you bring your V-tool up a little bit. That usually helps it, and sometimes turning it around helps it as well. So, but this is how you do an owl. And then the painting, well, it's brown, some beige and brown, white. And owls don't really look right or left. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. They look straight ahead, but they're cuter when they look in a different direction. And I like that. So that is pretty well our project. I'm not going to take the time to do the rest of it because it's redundant, I think. But when you do your sides, I'm going to just mark it with a pencil. You come down this way, okay?
Rose says, thanks. Are you going to have a live session on painting sometime?
I could.
Oh, Arlene loves to paint. It's her favorite part of wood carving.
Okay, let's be honest, folks. How many of you out there love to paint your carvings? I do not enjoy it. I do it because I have to do it, and there's times when I do enjoy it where I can watch or listen to a movie or a show or music, and I can get into doing 10 or 15, but I usually wait till I have about 30 or 40 of them. Maybe that's the reason, and I do all the reds and I do all the whites and all that, but we can do a session on that in the future.
Rose says so. It is for us.
Yeah, a lot of carvers.
Elizabeth says no.
Well, you know what's funny? You'll find, especially in husband and wives, the husband will carve, the wife will paint it. And then comes the ethical question, should they be able to put that into a competition when the carver does not do the painting?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we can have some really
Walk in
good
my
discussions
shoes.
someday, you know, on a Zoom or something, and really go around a group of people to see how people really handle that. But I never thought it was fair. If you do one part, you got to do the other part. You know, if you're doing the whole piece.
That's why I have a bag, a large gallon bag of carved items.
Are they all the same? No, they're not all the same.
No, but they all need to be painted.
Right. Oh, let's see. FlexCut sells a strop for V-tools, and I never used one, so I don't know if they are any good. Billy, I would say no, because when you go to redo them eventually, it's not the same. And, you know, the angle might be a little different if you don't hold it exactly right. What I do, where's my strop? Oh, would you mind getting it? It's on the counter. I'll show you something with that, Billy. Hang on just a second.
Oh, now I see it.
Okay, and this strop is really old, so it's not the same, but I'll show you how I sharpen this one up. Here. I keep hitting my thing here. I've got to learn to keep it lower. Okay, so this is my strop. Now, there's usually a nice edge here that I use. So when I sharpen these, I lay it flat with the angle of the V-tool. And I'll hold it down and I'll just bring it down maybe 4 or 5 times the length of the strop. And then I'll do the other half of it as well. And then I'll take it, see how I'm wrapping it around the corner? I don't know if you can see that. I'm wrapping this around the corner here. And then I'll just go from the top all the way down to the bottom. And that usually is enough to keep it sharp for a while anyway. If you use a buffing wheel, that would work very well for you too. You know, I can demonstrate that another day for you folks. But I think we'll wrap this up today.
Oh, got a couple things here.
What?
Lisa says, I like to paint. I do them way more often though. Every 1 to 3rd carvings. That otherwise she'd get overwhelmed.
Maybe that's my problem. I get overwhelmed with it. But you know what? If I got to take all the paint out, you just want to keep going with it, you know. Especially if you're mixing the paints. I already have them pre-mixed for the most part. But you know, it's just like carving or sharpening. Everybody does it a little bit different. And no one way is the right way. And, but anyway, I'm going to wrap this up tonight, folks. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for the conversation and the questions. And thank Colleen for joining me tonight as well, and her input on it. And we'll see you hopefully next week. And I won't have a mystery carving. I'll have something that I'll actually tell you what it is. I won't do that every week.
It will not be painting, though.
No, it won't
Just
be.
a FYI.
Yes, it won't be painting next week. Maybe a little bit later we can do that. Or maybe I can do a different session just on that with not carving, but just when I'm ready to do my painting, I can just kind of tell people how I do it and how not to bleed the colors together. That's a big thing. That is one of the worst feelings is when you're painting red and it goes into the white section of your Santa. How do you stop that? And there is a trick to that. So we'll get to that somewhere along the line. Thanks for joining me, and take care, folks, and we'll catch you next week. Have a great week. Be safe.